Turn that down back there.
Cheers.
There we go. Cheers.
And welcome to another episode of Marlon vs. Marlon. And I'm your boy Marlon.
I'm your boy Marlon. With Marlon Jr. right here for a little bit.
Join us as two childhood friends go back and forth, argue, fight, debate, sometimes maybe even agree on everything from sports to pop culture and everything in between. Yeah.
All right, today's
Complete daddy
episode we
mode. I
got a good
see.
one for you. Yep, yeah, man. Today's episode we got a good one for you, man. Obviously, we'll get into a little bit of the NFL draft that happened. We'll talk about some of the questionable picks that some teams made, some great picks, which what I feel the Chargers had a great draft. We'll talk about that because we obviously disagree on a thing or two or three. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some questionable picks, meaning with Atlanta drafting a quarterback after you just paid your quarterback over $100 million. So we'll talk about that a little more. But one thing I didn't want to dive into too much was the Cowboys in their draft. I definitely thought they would have got a running back. I know it's not your team anymore, but we can still talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured they would have at least got a quarterback. But then I guess they said, okay, well, let's just. And I've been saying this for months now. I feel like the reunion possibly was going to happen when Pollard left. Just with him being on the franchise tag, I knew that they weren't going to re-sign him unless he had just a great year. But you just kind of never know what possibly could happen just with the cap and with running backs not making money like that no more. So who knows necessarily what would happen. But you guys got Zeke. Well, Cowboys fans got Zeke. Um, and 1 year deal. I think it's up to 3 million. He's getting his own number 15. So I think
Nice.
he's going to do a lot better than what people potentially give him credit for. Not necessarily sure about the offense in general, but Ryan Garcia tested positive for PEDs
Makes sense.
day before the upset win over Haney. Wow. So let me get Carlin in here for this. Wow. Look at this. This is the second time in a week we got breaking news. So now Carlin joins us. What's up, Carlin? How you doing, man?
What's good? What's good?
What's going on, bro?
Chilling,
Look,
man.
there's a
So
lot
I'm
of
gonna
San
just
Diego in
so
here right
with
now,
obviously
man.
to break it with
Well, my
facts.
bad,
Yes,
I don't know if that's San
That's
Diego,
LA.
but
yes,
That's LA. You right. You
facts,
right,
fact.
Carla.
No, no, no.
You
You had it
repping
right. You had it
Carla.
right. You had it right. You had it
You
right.
repping
Hey,
Carla.
you
It's
you
a lot.
you had it.
It's a
You
the
had it right.
Padres.
You had it
The
right.
Chargers are not Dago's team anymore.
Uh,
yeah.
you had it right. So I'll get you guys because we didn't talk about the fight last week, Marlon. So what did you guys think about the fight and what did you guys pick Ryan to win the fight? I'll start with you, Carlin. What you guys think about the fight?
Nah, I didn't pick Ryan. I don't know many people that did. Just off of his antics, and then he showed that he was a quitter against Javante. So I mean, there probably is a few people that might have picked him. I knew he had a chance because he's a big puncher, but I just thought he was gonna come in. He was gonna be out of shape, and I thought Devin was gonna box, and Devin tried to fight a fight that is not used to fighting. Devin's known to shoot the jab all night, be boring, get the victory. He wanted to please the fans, and he got his ass whooped.
Yeah, he definitely did some things in that fight that were uncharacteristic. He fights a lot like Floyd used to, defensive, lead with the jab, win with the jab for the most part. But I don't know if you just heard what Marlon announced before we got on here, but before you say that,
Yeah, the
yeah, the
PEDs.
PEDs. But shout out to my boy PJ because he definitely won a few bands on Ryan Garcia. He bet on him. I don't know if he was really rooting for him, but the odds were so crazy. He was like, why not? So shout out to him. But yeah, I don't think a lot of people have Ryan Garcia. The PEDs makes a lot of sense. Put that put the PEDs with
Yeah,
coming in
Yeah.
20 pounds heavier or whatever he came in at. I mean, there's weight classes in boxing for a reason, man. I that's kind of crazy. If I was and with those smaller guys, right? With the heavyweights, if 205 and 215, that's not a big deal. 240 and 245, that's not a big deal. But the difference between like 140 and 160, that's huge. Like, so uh damn, that puts a big asterisk, I guess, on his win, doesn't it?
Yeah, and if I'm Team Haney, I'm trying to get that, I'm trying to get that loss taken
For
off.
sure, for sure.
Yeah, which
So,
and now that's definitely gonna be the biggest story for the next couple of days. So I'm at least glad that we was able to record at the time we did to get that breaking news. So and the next couple fights, I guess big name fights. I mean Canelo fights now. I mean you guys know this better than I do. So when Canelo fights, he don't really fight. Is he fighting like big name people? From I don't know the last time Canelo's had a big name fight with like a you know
yeah,
I
Canelo
don't
is
know.
kind of on his Floyd Mayweather right now. He's kind of fought everybody. So like if the reward isn't worth the risk, he's going to get the money
Yeah.
regardless. So it's like I'm up in age, why take this young guy when I'm going to get the same bag for fighting? I don't agree with it, but it's just how boxing is. Until boxing gets like UFC and just has one belt, you're going to see people cherry picking when they get older in their
I don't
career.
mind it, man. It's all about money. Like everybody can say they want to be the best boxer, they want to be the best fighter that the world's ever seen, but as we see living live right now with LeBron and Mike, like it's always going to be subject to opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be preference, well, who's making the argument and that kind of thing. So, for example, Haney, we can't unsee what we saw. Whether Garcia was on PEDs or not, whether Garcia was overweight or not, we can't unsee him getting beat up like he did. So, as a boxer, I mean, yes, you want that O because that's what gets you the most money. But I'm not. I mean, Tank don't look crazy for not fighting some of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney went out on a limb, fought somebody he thought he was familiar with, got beat, and now his reputation is going to be stained, and his bag is going to be less next fight.
Yep. Yep.
So it'll be we'll see what definitely happens if the loss gets taken away or whatever. We'll see what happens. But all right, so let's go ahead and get into some of this
Oh, let me
NBA.
say this too, because before we move on,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
don't want
Go
to
ahead.
sound like a hypocrite. PEDs in a fighting sport is a lot different than like if Barry Bonds was
Baseball.
on steroids. You know what I'm saying? Like PE, performance enhancing drugs, steroids,
Hmm.
whatever the case is, that's not going to make you see a baseball better, hit a curveball, notice a change about the hand.
Right.
But like in a sport like boxing, bro, that's kind of crazy to be on some type of PED.
Yeah, so I mean, we still got
Hmm.
to see what the exact one was and what it's supposed to do, but I'm sure he gonna try to get a B sample. Canelo has tested positive before, so like if I'm Ryan Garcia, I'm with taking the PED, getting this big bag, and getting a little slap on the
Oh
wrist.
yeah,
He said he got like 12. He said he got like 12 million for this fight, so they
that
might
was
fine him,
that was
five
just off
hundred
the bat.
thousand, and
That
that's
was just off
nothing.
the bat. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, until boxing starts giving guys, 2-year bans, 3-year bans, lifetime bans, the risk of it is worth more than getting
Oh
caught.
yeah. Yeah. It's a fact.
Because I remember in
Hmm. I
baseball,
gotta.
they used to only give like 20 games, and then until they started doing like half a season or a full season, guys started doing it
Yeah. True
less.
story.
I got a question for you, Carlin. And this is very random and just as I'm looking at you, talking everything. Do you regret? I see you growing the dreads back out. Do you regret cutting it back then?
Nah, nah. So I'm good. Like my hairline's still good, my hair still grow. So a lot of people not in this position, but I just feel like it was time. And then now
Dang.
barbers,
Hey, hold on. You're not just gonna gloss over that, man. Like,
what?
I know we just got done talking boxing, but you ain't gonna hit me with the 1-2 jab
I'm
like
glad you
that.
caught that because I definitely did. I definitely
Jeez.
caught that.
Hey,
Sheesh.
everybody can't do it.
You
So
want to take off?
Sheesh.
hey,
You want
Well, dang.
my dad still got waves, so I'll be
you
good
want
for
to
a
show your
while.
hairline,
But
Marlon? You want to
barbers
show your hair? You want to take off your hat?
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
barbers prices is going up, but the quality is going down. It's like I'm not gonna be paying for this BS. So to each his own.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. All right. So let's get into some of this NBA. So before we dive in, who did you have making the finals pre this first round? It may or may not have changed, but who did you have making it? The
Well,
finals.
when the season started, I said it was gonna be Nuggets versus Boston. I said
Yeah.
as long as both of them stay healthy, and I feel like Nuggets are gonna repeat.
Hmm.
I think the
So
Nuggets.
And we'll get into the Lakers. Yeah,
I
go ahead,
think
Marlon.
that's the only matchup I like the against the Nuggets right now is the Celtics. But if
yeah, out the East,
Porzingis doesn't get healthy, they go home too because their lineup
yeah,
is so big. Paul's like you got to have size to go against that, and shooting and everything else.
Yeah.
So
I think the main thing though, in order to beat Denver, is you got to have a good bench because they're getting nothing from their bench. Like it's some games when they're getting less than 10 points. LeBron isn't that good. Reggie Jackson is not the old Reggie Jackson. Like they don't have they're missing Brown off the bench. So I think if you get a team who can take advantage when Joker sits down and keep that pressure on them, I think it's gonna be hard. It's gonna make it difficult on them.
And I guess we'll just stay with that season right there, or that series right there. I said in game two, we weren't gonna have, even though we lost that game, we weren't gonna have a game like that again. And there was some crazy stat that was out there showing how much we led over the course of the whole series, minutes wise. And we pretty much had control over a good chunk of the game, but little by little, we could blame it on coaching, Darvin Ham not knowing when to call timeouts. We can, some
Bumpy.
coaches like to, hey, you got yourself you got yourself in the situation, you get yourself out. So I think that works sometimes, but in the playoffs, you kind of can't get too cute, especially with a team like Denver. But yeah, but a game like game two, we weren't going to have another game like that again, where everything pretty much went right. And yeah, if we would have won game five, I think we definitely would have won a series. But yeah, Jamal Murray is had two game winners, which I mean, how many times have we seen that in the series? But yeah, they played good. He better be careful with that calf injury. But yeah, Denver's definitely looking like they're probably going to be the team that's going to end up getting to the finals again.
I think that's a good stat. They were leading like 3/4 of the series. The Lakers were.
Yeah.
But
Wow,
I think
it
that
was
speaks
wild.
more so to two things. One, the DNA of a champion. They're down by 20. There's no panic. They're down by 10, 15 in the second half. There's
Exactly.
no panic. We know we've
They've
been
been
here
there
before. We've
before.
been here with this team before. We know we can beat this team. All we got to do is continue to do what we're going to do, what we do, and we're going to have a chance at the end of the game. And then on the other end, you have your best player is 40, 38, 39, however old he is. So the age is there, right? So you get those bursts in the first half, right? And then come down to the end of the game, dog, I don't care what nobody says. LeBron is amazing. He is fighting father time, the best we've ever seen, right? Him and Tom Brady probably. But at some point, those legs, you know what I'm saying? Shots ain't falling. He's not doing something. He's not as explosive as he was at the beginning of the game. Like things like that starts to catch up with you. And then you have Anthony Davis, who had an amazing series numbers wise, right? But if we look at this, if we break down those numbers, most of those came in the first half. He had 20 at halftime, 18 at halftime. He's killing in the second half, 10 points. Second half, 8 points. You know what I'm saying? So you can blame it on Darvin Ham, but at the end of the day, you got a guy like Austin Rivers, who y'all gave too much money to. You got a guy like D'Lo who plays great at times, and you won't see him at times. And and Shaq always says it, bro. It's the others in the playoffs. Like LeBron's gonna have 28, 7, and 9. AD is gonna have 28, 29, 30. But that's only 60 points. You know what I'm saying? Who else is stepping
Yeah.
up to help this team? Because you got to get to 100 in today's game most of the time, and against the Nuggets, you definitely do. So, I think it came down to the others and the inconsistency. They don't. LeBron needs those guys, bro. The Mike Millers, the Ray Allens, the third guy, not necessarily the D Wade or the Kyrie. It's always a third guy, bro.
Kyrie's.
So
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
Carla.
agree because Rui was terrible in that series. D'Lo had maybe one good
mm-hmm.
game. I mean,
Yeah.
Lakers weren't getting
If
nothing from their bench, so they should have played
yeah,
Jackson Hayes more. I think he could have maybe helped. Um,
and
but
that's really what it is. With as far as with the D'Lo point, I said D'Lo is going to be the X factor, and he had a great game in game two. Came out firing in game two. He was never going
hmm
to play that consistent like that again. He's too up and down. He's too erratic. So, yeah,
You
it
you
is
know
what it
who I
is at
also
that
think
point.
they missed in that
And
series?
we'll
I'm
go ahead,
sorry,
Marlon.
Christian Wood. He makes Joker
Hmm.
come out to the 3 point line and guard a little bit, make him work a little bit on the other end because um, Jackson Hayes is good on defense too.
yeah, he's not wasting no energy on
Yeah, and
defense.
Jackson Hayes would have been a nice body to throw at him, but offensively he wouldn't have made let him shoot, let him catch his lob. Okay, that's 2 points. Let's go score. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
yeah.
I got a question.
I'm staying. Yeah.
Was you about to, is Jamal Murray the most underrated player ever? So my cousin, Arlen, he asked me this. He's like, because he's never made an All Star game, and he's clutch. He makes big shots. I'm like, it's hard because just because he's not going to make an All Star game doesn't necessarily mean that he's
Yeah.
underrated. You know what I mean?
Because it's all
I
votes
just,
at
I
that
just feel
point.
like I just
Like,
feel like the West, the point guard position is the guard position is the most. He's in the Curry era. He has all these guys.
Luca.
Luka's a guard
Westbrook,
now.
CP.
Westbrook's yeah. So I'm like he's just in a bad. He's like yeah, that's why he's the most underrated. I'm like if you're going off of no All Stars, then probably
Mm-mm.
so. I would probably agree.
How many All Star games does Dame Lillard have?
That's
Dame has a few. He started for
he's
the first
Okay.
time this year
Okay.
in the East. But then remember it
But
took
that's what
Dame
I'm
a
saying.
while
And to
to
me,
finally make
Dame
it to
is
one.
like if we're just sitting Dame versus
because
Jamal Murray, Dame I think is better, right? But he's in a
Yeah.
perfect situation for himself, right? Like he's an amazing number two. I don't know if he goes to a team where he's a number one and he leads a team to a playoff success that he's had in Denver.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. He's never even had a like elite season. Like his most points per game is maybe 21. Like DeMar's done that for like 10 years straight. So it's hard to really
Yeah.
say. I think he performs well in the playoffs and we're seeing like he's kind of like not a Robert Ory, but kind of in that like Robert Ory type of thing. Like he shows up kind of when it matters.
Yeah. He's a shot maker. He's a good shot
you could
maker.
kind of put him. Hey, you can almost put him like kind of like a Derek Fisher kind of. I would put him more like that. Derek, he could sit in corner, set shot. He wasn't obviously earlier in his career, but whenever Kobe needed him, sometimes he was always there to make that
Right.
arcing shot. But yeah, but back to your point as far as with the West, I mean, of course, we're talking about CP. You're talking about Steph Curry.
Westbrook.
Westbrook. I mean, I feel like Tony Parker made a
Harden.
couple of them.
Harden.
Yeah, Harden with Houston. So it's just that's just a tough. The West was always horrible with point guards and with the All Star game, but it is all votes. But that is a good question. I'll go and at least try to think of just some other players. But yeah, I mean, recency bias, of course. Yeah, I mean he's
Yeah.
not the sexy player. Denver doesn't really get televised that much, really anyway, because it's Denver. But Joker's not super flashy. He's the quietest, 26, 20, and 10 there is out there. So,
Yeah, I was saying
but
if
yeah,
they repeat it this year, I think they'll find a way to get him in the All Star game next year. Because sometimes those champions, like they get a guy who normally shouldn't be an
Yeah.
All Star, and they're an All Star, like a Draymond. Like Draymond should not have been no All
Yeah,
Star,
I think
but
Draymond was more so. I think
be voting
Draymond
for
was a
him.
popular vote for a while. Like the Warriors fans.
but All Star basketball, the All Star basketball player. You get what I'm saying? Like he was a great player, but at the All Star game, I don't want to see
No,
Draymond at
but
my All Star
what
game.
I'm saying is,
He's not flat. He's not catching no
what I'm
oops.
saying is
Nah,
is
not shooting
when
threes.
the Warriors were winning 70 games plus, Draymond was the third best player on the team. Well, when KD wasn't there, and and the Golden State fans are powerful, bro. Golden State is
Yeah.
popular. There's a reason. Hell, Clay probably made more All Star games than he should have made. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not a big Draymond guy, so that's
I don't know about that with Clay. Clay is still top 10 shooter of all time.
okay.
So
What does
I
that
don't
mean?
know about that. I gotta put Clay.
If
that means he's
if
worthy
he's
of
a
making
top
All Star
10
games.
shooter of all time, which I don't disagree with, Draymond is top 2 of all time in what he does. Whatever that is, he's the best to do it. Whatever he
Yeah,
is,
I
he's
was
the
gonna
best to
say.
do it.
He's silly.
So
Whatever that is.
I mean, well, you got Rodman and Giannis. That's just two people right there that do better with
bet
Draymond
you
does.
got more All Stars than Robin.
So
And Giannis doesn't do anything better than anybody except for be tall. Let's be honest. And get your brother money. He's the best brother in the league.
Oh man.
He's a doper brother
speaking
than
of,
Steph for sure.
speaking of,
Steph
we're gonna
would
talk
never.
with them. Now this is gonna be a possible upset with them being up. I believe they're up 3-2. I believe the Pacers are.
Pacers up
So
3-2.
Yeah, so now with no Dame, I didn't actually see why Dame was out, but what was Dame's issue? Why he didn't play Game 5?
Supposedly a sprained
Yeah, they
Achilles.
both out.
Oh, so they all over. So yeah, with Giannis, with the way he was looking, I don't see him coming back. I mean, if he does come back, it's just like with KP. They say KP's not going to come back to the Eastern Conference Finals if they're there. With the way Giannis was looking when he tweaked his, I can't see him coming
Yeah,
back either. So
yeah. Those calf injuries are
it,
no joke.
you can't play because, especially too, when we go back to the KD situation where, oh yeah, it's a calf, and then we
And
just saw
then
that thing ripple up whenever he finally popped that thing. So
yeah,
it's just, and that's why with Jamal Murray, with seeing him kind of go down with whatever he tweaked, it's like you just got to be careful with that because it's one big long, you know, tendon, and you pop that thing, you're done. So we'll see what happens with that. But obviously, without Dame, you have a lot of good role players. The Bucks do. They're built for this. But without two of your main guys, it's kind of hard to put all the pieces together. And the Pacers are a scrappy team, so I definitely think they'll probably pull off the upset and
I
take it
know if
home
they
tomorrow
don't,
night.
they better watch out because they lost a game yesterday that they shouldn't have lost. With those two guys out.
yeah. They already gave the Bucks
Yeah,
too much. They gave the Bucks too much
and I'm and,
confidence.
and as a player, you probably
Mhm.
look across the other side and say, okay, Giannis is out. We beat them with Dame. We're gonna beat them. Dame is out too. Now this is about to be a cakewalk. Nah, y'all. There's
Yep.
some guys over there still making 10,
Nope.
12, 15 million a year. Go ahead and lace
Yeah.
them up.
Especially when especially when they're at
Yeah,
home.
true. And
So
I
Yeah.
they don't want to mess. They don't want to
and
mess
I've
around
been
with this
saying this
game.
for years. Teams play better basketball without Giannis on the court. He just is like he's not a good offensive basketball player. So now you got other guys that can actually do what they want to do instead of watching him do a Euro step from the 3 point line. Like in a half court.
Yeah, Bobby Portis went
Bro,
crazy yesterday.
it sounds crazy.
Hey, Clippers look better without
Same situation.
Kawhi.
Yeah, Clippers. So yeah, we need to talk about that. 2 years ago, when they made it to the
Yeah.
Western Conference Finals without Kawhi, that should have showed them right there. We get rid of him in that contract. We add a couple more pieces with PG. We
Yep.
cooking.
He could win.
hmm
Like
Now here's the interesting thing.
and we know with
Yeah,
Kawhi,
here's the
every year he's gonna get hurt in the playoffs.
And here's an interesting thing. They've been talking about not re-signing PG, so he could possibly be a free agent next year when
That'd
it
be the
should
big.
be the other way around.
Yep.
I mean, but he's been more available than he has been. I honestly feel for the most of PG's career, especially his stint in LA. Any nicky knack injury, he's always sitting out. He pretty much sit out almost as much as Kawhi. I'm sure it's been less, but he hadn't played as much as he has in the past. So, but as far as this year now, he's played the majority of the games, and I think he knows. Okay, well, shoot, I need to show that I'm still worthy of signing a max deal with somebody and some other team,
He
and they
gonna
can't
he,
try to tell me anything about my injuries.
he gonna
Who
get
was
that
that?
regardless. PG. Somebody
Yeah,
gonna
PG
pay him
balling.
PG.
regardless if it's LA or not. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but it's going to be interesting to see where he goes, especially with the uncertainty of LeBron, which I still think is probably going to stay if they sign Bronny or wherever Bronny ends up getting picked up. Which, I tweeted Carlin when I said he's nowhere near ready for the league, but it's a chess match at this point. So let's say if Orlando wants to get him or something like that, LeBron's probably going to go there for a year, and so that's just my personal opinion. But with this free agency class, you got Clay. Obviously, he's not the Clay of old, but you got Clay out there. You got potential Paul George out there. LeBron. There's a lot of Draymond. There's a lot of guys out there that they can figure out where they want to go and create their own super. And then the Suns. That team's gonna get blown up. So we'll see what happens
nah,
with Devin
because
Book.
nobody's taking Bradley
Yeah, I was
Beal's
gonna say it's gonna be
contract.
hard to break up the Suns.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
what about Booker?
The Suns' best
That's
option is to trade either Booker or Katie because you'll get valuable assets back, recoup some of those picks. Because trading Bradley Beal, you're not getting nothing. He just his value just went way
And
down.
see, I hate
way
that.
down.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not debating that. I'm not arguing that. But I hate it because what is he supposed to do on that team? They did a shitty job of staggering
Yeah,
minutes. Like he was basically a corner 3 point shooter on the team. Like
yeah. He would maybe bring the ball up, pass
yeah,
it, and
it's
then
like
sit in the
what do you
corner.
expect him to do? He showed flashes. He's still a bucket, but and I don't know how that works when you got basically three shooting guards on the team. I mean, hell, you're seeing it with the Clippers
hmm
when Kawhi plays. You're playing with Russ, Kawhi, James Harden, and PG. That's four shooting guards, bro. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
James could play the PG if he just pick and rolls all day, and same with Russ. But like, bro, that's 4 shooting guards.
Yeah, Suns need a point guard at least. But then your lineup's going to be really, really small. Having KD at the 4 is cool until he got to be on Cat all day. And now he's wore out and he ain't got no legs on offense. So, to me, the Suns are in bad shape.
Yeah, Marlon, your favorite player, CP, probably not going to get re-signed with Golden State. What do you think? Where do you think he'll probably end up?
Shit, the Suns, the Lakers. There's a bunch of teams that he could.
He needs to go
everybody can use a point guard.
He needs to go back to Phoenix.
Everybody can use a point guard. The problem with CP is he's about to enter into a phase where, like where Melo ended his career. Like, are you willing to come off the bench possibly? Yeah, I know you were in Golden State, right? But that's an anomaly. It's Steph. So if y'all can't play together all the time, you might have to come off the bench, Steph and Clay, whatever. But now, are you willing to come off the bench for a team where maybe you still feel like you're better than the guy starting? You know what I'm saying? And maybe you are better than the guy starting, but at this age, we need you for something else. And is he willing to accept that? Does he go to a team where he knows he's going to play more? That might not be as good. I don't know. He should be chasing the ring, though, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he needs one.
He needs one.
Yeah. So OKC, they end up sweeping the Pelicans. They go to Galveston, Texas for their
that dirty ass. They going to that dirty ass water.
Beyonce, Miss Knowles. That is these two. Marlon Pierce. I have nothing to do with what they saying. I like coming down to Houston, South Houston. You know, that's what I'm gonna call Galveston, South Houston.
No, it's Galveston. That's Galveston.
I told my wife our next vacation we're gonna go down to Galveston and we're gonna do it big.
You probably can do it
big.
You get the whole top floor of a hotel down there for about $200 a night.
For
that's the penthouse. No, that's just all the top floor rooms. That's all of them.
No, that's all you. Yeah. That's all you.
So, Carlin, I don't know if we've ever had this conversation, but who are you, a Jordan or LeBron guy? Who's your GOAT?
MJ's mine, but I'm not gonna argue nobody if they say LeBron.
Yeah, I think it's, and this is just me outsider looking in. I mean, it's when you see, we were able to see Jordan, but we didn't see Jordan like we see LeBron, and just seeing what he's done over the course of the years, we obviously know LeBron's statistical stats, and we know what Jordan's is. But just seeing what at this age, you know, and we're not necessarily. Is this a part of LeBron's catalog? You can absolutely say that. Jordan's, maybe not so many because he wasn't necessarily doing what LeBron is doing at this age. But I just feel like at this point, you have to at least take it somewhat into consideration, the longevity with what he's able to do for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
You know, Jordan obviously, you know, to kind of take his breaks with baseball and this and that and everything. But I just think they're both obviously great. And you know, Jordan with the 6 for 6, the clutch, all this stuff. But LeBron does, you know, with passing and with the points and making all the finals appearances. I mean, it's a great debate. But what LeBron's doing at this point of his career, it just has to be noted and has to take account for something.
Oh yeah, his longevity is A1. But you're asking me my opinion. Like I said, it's Jordan. If you have LeBron, I can respect it. Like, I'm not going to be like, no, he's not, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not a LeBron hater. As long as you got, you know, him, Kobe, and LeBron in the top 3, I'm good with it.
You said Kobe?
So, because some people got Kobe. Yeah, some people got Kobe over LeBron. Kobe's in my top 3.
I personally do have Kobe over LeBron.
Peace. We out.
That's my Jordan. Kobe's my Jordan.
We out.
Kobe's my Jordan, but yeah,
well,
but it's personal
there's
opinion.
Actually a group of people that will say Kobe's not even a top 3 Laker of all time.
Well, those people won't be on this podcast.
I'm just saying.
I don't know who. I know they might have Magic, but I don't know who else they'll have over him. Jerry West.
3 finals MVPs with the Lakers. More than Kobe.
Nah.
Okay, but who else though?
Jerry West.
Who else though?
Kobe
got 5 rings. I said finals MVPs. Finals
Kobe
MVPs.
Got 5 of them things. Okay, that's cool.
So you're just going off of just a set of, you know,
Kareem
4, 5, 6 games?
There are people. I'm just saying there are people that will say,
but if
that
that's fine. But I just think that's a horrible argument just to say, oh yeah, this person has more Finals MVPs. That's why I feel like they're better.
Well,
Like,
well,
come
For
on
well,
now.
me,
well, they
When
were
you look
you
at
also
got
well, they were also
Kobe's
on the
full
same team during
catalog,
those Finals MVPs, so that means something too.
yeah.
well, of
For,
course it's a little biased, but
for me,
okay.
you can only have Magic or Kobe because they played their whole career with them. Kareem didn't,
So,
so
LeBron
well,
had
I didn't
four
say LeBron.
years, so it's. But I
yeah.
think it's kind of hard to put LeBron in that
I don't think
category. So, but
MP,
I
who
don't
you
know. I
got?
mean,
You got Bron
my
as your
top
GOAT?
three are Bron, Magic, and Mike. I think Bron
But
is
who's
the
your number
best
one?
player to ever play basketball.
Okay, but who's your GOAT?
No, no,
There's two different
this is not
things.
an NBA MVP conversation. It's all one thing. I think it's LeBron. I think LeBron is the best player to ever play.
Okay,
I'm Mike.
I respect it.
Look behind me. I ain't got no LeBrons back there. No LeBrons.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Hey, John Tandy said we don't wear them shits in the club. Them shit's ugly.
hey, but my boy Wale could put a fit together for him.
so now which brings me. Oh, go ahead. Which brings me to my next point as far as with the GOAT debate. Is Anthony Edwards the next upcoming superstar that's going to at least be mentioned with some of these greats? With the way his career is looking now, do you feel like it's going to skyrocket to the point to where he's the next? I don't know about the face of the league, but do you feel he's going to get to that stature of elite player?
I mean, the only way to do that is championships. Like the reason we say CP isn't the best point guard is because he doesn't have a ring. Like you got. It sucks because it's a team award, but unless he can get some rings, it won't matter
Yeah,
what he
and it's
does. But he was my preseason MVP. I said it on this podcast. He was my preseason MVP, so I just wanted
yeah.
my credit for that.
What are
He
we
ain't gonna
giving
win
credit
MVP
for?
because they don't give it to him.
Oh, you want credit? You want credit now? You want credit
Yeah,
now?
I want the credit.
Credit,
Like MPD
credit.
won his credit about
Oh
signing Zeke
no,
back.
that's him. I said they should have kept him.
No, that was me. That was
But
me.
but I think so.
I said that.
The
Yeah.
problem that we're having now is Anthony Edwards is in what year 4 or 5,
Like
and we're
4,
starting to have this
5.
debate. They were having these conversations in year 2 for Mike, coming out of high school for LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So he's already playing catch up, and he has a team out there that in the Nuggets is going to be, and I think the Timberwolves could beat the Nuggets too in the series just because they got the size, and they got Mike Conley, but if he can't get past that arch nemesis, it's kind of like Mike was with Detroit. If Mike never gets past Detroit, we don't even have this conversation.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he froze up.
I froze up.
Dang.
Yeah,
If
Oh,
he
my bad, my
can't,
bad.
okay, there he goes.
If he can't get
if he can't get
past
what again?
Denver,
You good?
then we're
If
not.
he can't get
He's
what
not
again?
even going to be in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because they're in the West, so that means he's
exactly.
not getting to the finals. You know what I'm saying? Once Mike got past the Pistons, then we started seeing the run. For LeBron, it was a little different. Like, no, it wasn't. He had the Celtics. He had the Pistons back then
he
too.
had the Pistons as well.
Once you start getting to them finals, you got to make it consistent, and you got to be the best player, no question. So,
Yeah, and you got to have The only, like I said, only knock on LeBron is his finals record, but you have to give him credit for making it that far that many times. So that's the thing people don't want to do. Like they want to fault him for having does he have a losing record in the finals? Yeah, they want to fault him for that, but they don't want to give him the credit for making it that many times. Like at the end of the day, you want to go to the Super Bowl. If you're there, you got a 50% chance. So,
but this is the only thing I have with that argument, right? Well, he has a better record in round 1 than Mike, a better record in round 2 than Mike, a better record in round 3 than Mike, a better record. You know what I'm saying? Mike is 6-0 in the finals. Hey, hats off when he got there, but he also was getting there as the best team, 72 wins. He wasn't getting there playing the team with 72 wins. He wasn't getting there playing the team with 4 Hall of Famers.
see, but there's my argument though. If you're good enough to get your team there, you're good enough for your team to win.
Matthew Dellavedova.
No,
Matthew Dellavedova was the second best player on his team, bro.
Hey,
we're not going when
nah,
they
he
were in
wasn't
the
the second
finals.
best.
When they were in
Okay,
when Kyrie got hurt.
But okay,
Who else got hurt? Who was the other player on the team? Go ahead,
Okay,
Marlon. My
so
bad. Kevin Love got hurt.
Kevin
Kevin
Love.
Love.
Dylan Doble was the second best player.
No, you good. That's fine. But okay, but we can give him pass for 1 year. But how about all the
For
other years?
what?
Does
He's
he get a
supposed to
pass?
beat KD. He's
Does he
supposed
get
to
a
be
pass
no.
for the
That's
Mavs?
and that's what we can have the fight all day, right? And I'm not gonna fight you with it. There's
For the
one team
Spurs?
he went into the finals against where he should have won, where he got the better team, better roster, better everything, and that was the Mavs, and they lost.
Yeah, that one was bad.
We can mark
Yeah.
the one
So I don't.
against them
I
the
mean,
first year they went in Miami, but
mhm.
I'm not. Yeah,
Was that against the Spurs? I think
Spurs.
was that Spurs or Warriors? I think it was Spurs. Spurs,
First they
right?
first they played they played Dallas, then they beat OKC, and then they beat the Spurs, then they lost to the Spurs.
But
Yeah.
But they could have
yeah,
those ones could have been flopped if Ray Allen
but
doesn't make that
but this
shot.
is the thing.
So
The Spurs team probably got 3 Hall of Famers, better coach, right? And I mean, we could put the Spurs team on paper against the even the Heat. Like, we not just sitting here saying they was better or they should beat this team. So yeah, you're good enough to get there, but I mean, when you got KD, Steph, Draymond, Clay on the other side, like, come on, bro. Did we really? Hey, and let's talk about this. Why do people shit on LeBron for losing in the first round? And I haven't heard anybody say anything about KD getting swept in the first round. But
oh yeah,
back in
that's the thing.
2016 when he was on the Warriors, people were saying he was
Pe-
better than LeBron. What?
Yeah, at one point they were saying Kawhi was better than LeBron. People get so in the moment and they dislike LeBron so much that if someone wins Finals MVP, oh they're better than LeBron. But then they get knocked out of the playoffs, don't make the playoffs. LeBron is held his standard is held
Yeah,
like higher than anybody's. So LeBron gets the most credit from me because he actually lived up. He surpassed his hype coming out of high school. Like we've seen guys like Sebastian Telfair. We've seen these guys come out of high school, and not live up to the hype. He surpassed his hype, so I give him credit for that as
for
well.
sure.
And he just stayed consistent playing over the course of here it is 20 years. He's still, the fact that you're about to be 40 and 3-year deal. What you want? Max deal, 60 whatever man. Like it's typically, I mean, for the oldest dude in the
Yeah,
league,
that's
you
crazy.
getting league minimum. For some
Yeah,
of these guys. So the fact that he's still playing at this level. But speaking of KD, you brought him up. Does this somewhat diminish his legacy with the way that he's going to these teams, they're not working, and year after year after year, like what does this do for his legacy?
it was ruined when he went to Golden State. In
And
my
see,
opinion, he could have went to any other. He could have went to any other. In my opinion, like people see things differently. Just because
Hmm.
his team was good enough to beat that team, he could have ran it back one more year, or he could have went to the Clippers. He could have went to the Spurs, anywhere else but there. So
Anywhere.
I was a big Trey Five guy. When he went there, I lost a lot. I lost a lot for him because I thought, as a competitor, like you guys were up 3-1, y'all should have beat
yeah,
that
see,
team.
and for me,
Hmm.
for
Shout
me,
out
I don't
Emmett in the
think he was.
comments.
I don't think
Caesar in the
his
comments too. What's up?
his image or his legacy won't be ruined for me because I never saw him in that conversation anyway. Now, if we're talking about what his legacy is to me is one of the best people I've ever seen score basketball at 7 foot being a guard. Like I don't think he can
Hmm.
ruin that by going to a team and chasing a ring. Now, if he thought he was going to get on LeBron, Mike, Kobe, that level, then yes, that is it's a wrap. But um,
Yeah, but early on, he was on that trajectory just because he was youngest scoring champ ever. OKC was so young
mhm.
when they went the first time, so he was on that trajectory. But for him, he was just more of
Yeah,
just a straight scorer, and
yeah,
rest did everything. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
All right, so I got it. Come on,
my
Marlon,
bad.
man. Come on, man. You killing me, man. All right. All right. So we'll go ahead and get into a little NFL, then we gonna get into some beef action real quick. So with the NFL, we obviously saw what the Falcons did with, and I mean the draft was just kind of going, as somewhat a pick or two, either this guy or that guy, this position, that position. I think we kind of knew the trajectory for the most part. Then Atlanta's up and they go and draft Michael Penix after they go and pay Kirk Cousin off of a Achilles injury, which we should be perfectly fine for week 1. They go and they pay him, $100 something million guaranteed, and then they go and they get a quarterback first round. What would I mean? Obviously, I think we all kind of know what we would feel like if we are Kirk Cousins,
A
but
older quarterback.
that has some injuries too. But I mean, what do you think they were thinking? What was the thought process of why we would just, instead of getting them a weapon, which they can definitely use a weapon on offense or even some defense, because that defense is very shaky. So I mean, what do you guys feel about their thought process of why they felt they needed to go with a quarterback that they probably could have traded back and got
Yeah,
down the road?
I feel like they probably thought, you know what? We've had the worst quarterback room in the NFL for so long that we do not want this to happen again. And then they probably looked at the success of a Jordan Love. Jordan Love sat behind.
Yeah,
It wasn't a
behind
popular pick.
Rodgers.
He sat behind Rodgers. Mahomes only sat 1 year, but so they're probably thinking, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? We're gonna try and play the long game. I just didn't like that they picked him because he was one of the older quarterbacks in the draft. So if they would have got it like a McDaniels, who's a few years younger, because they say like by the time Kirk Cousins' contract is up, he's going to be like 28 or something like that. He's older than
Mm-hmm.
the Cowboys backup Trey. He's older than Trey Lance by like a few months. So that's just crazy.
Yeah,
But
he's 23.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess they're just playing a long game. That they got Bijan, they got Kyle Pitts. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm happy it's not my team.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Facts.
I think that nobody knows why they did that. I don't think it was a good pick. I don't think it was a popular pick. But I also, if I'm doubling down on the hate for their GM, which I hate to do because I think he's a brother, but I also don't know why you give Kirk Cousins $150 million coming off a torn ACL. Like, I don't. If Minnesota didn't want to do it, I wouldn't have did it. Because let's not. We see Aaron Rodgers walking around after the Achilles after 3 months and all that, and we think that's just something that people come back from regularly and nothing's wrong with it now. Like, Kirk Cousins ain't showing me. I ain't seen his athleticism. Like, I don't know if he's bouncing back from that surgery like that. But I do think with the receivers in this draft, maybe they thought it was just too high for one of them. But I would have probably went receiver for that team. Give Drake London another running mate out there, open it up a little bit for Kyle Pitts and Bijan. But it's the Falcons. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Do you guys think Caleb Williams is gonna be like obviously we know what the Bears offense is. It's stacked. You got your ex running back. You got Swift there. You have Doomsday that they picked at 8. Obviously Caleb Williams, Keenan Allen. It still hurts me to say that.
DJ Moore.
And they got Moore. They have Kyle Kmet. They're stacked all over
They got
on offense.
Everett.
So
They got Everett from y'all too. The tight end.
they got Everett too. So looking at what this offense is I feel like it's too much. It's a lot of pressure because you're coming in. They already got rid of the quarterback, Justin Fields, before you even came. You could have easily said, not that they would have picked anybody else, but I just feel like it's just a lot of pressure. So how do you guys feel this is going to play out for the Bears? And do you think they're just, I don't know about taking over the NFC North, but what's your forecast? Think they can 10, 11 wins first year? What are you thinking for Caleb Williams in the Bears?
I don't know. I think CJ Stroud got everybody like thinking that it's just easy to step in and just go crazy. I mean, like every once in a while, you get that rookie that goes crazy, but it usually doesn't happen. So they're in a tough division. The Lions are really good. They got everything coming back. The Packers are really good. They got everything coming back. Minnesota's, they should be more healthy this year. So it's not like he's in
AFC
some like
South.
watered down division. He's gonna be playing in the cold. He's gonna be playing in the cold. He's I don't know where he's originally from, but he was at SC, so he's not gonna like playing outside in at Soldier Field when it's 20 degrees,
Snow,
negative wind. So we just got to see how he acclimates himself. But I think it's just unfair to just say that they're going to be a playoff team just because they have a stacked offense.
I agree with you. And let me tell you, somebody who gets their nails done and painted probably isn't going to want to throw a football in 20-degree weather. But Justin Fields, didn't he play at Ohio State or something like that? So he was from the cold and wasn't able to adjust, but he couldn't throw the ball anyway. But that's neither here nor there. I think Carly, you make a great point. He's not playing in the AFC South. No shot to CJ Stroud, but come on. Like when you're in a lower division like that, you're giving yourself a chance to get to the playoffs just off, you know, of winning your division. Yeah, so I
winning your
think that's his
division.
biggest problem. Is 6 of his games are not going to be easy, like Carlin just laid out. But I think in 2 or 3 years, we'll really see if those veterans on that team will stick around and don't get too frustrated with the situation as he develops, that they might be a playoff team that might can make, have a small window of success there.
And also I don't know who their offensive I don't know who their OC is. So I mean, with all these weapons, he needs to be having you got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, this rookie receiver out of Washington. You got Swift in the back. So I'm not. It's a lot of pressure on the
Shane,
offensive coordinator, in my opinion. Because if they're not,
I feel like you got 1 year, and
yeah,
that's it.
if they're not scoring like 24 plus points, people are gonna be looking at them
Shane
crazy.
Waldron.
And then Keenan, and I'm gonna
Okay,
yeah, I'm so with Keenan Allen, he's most likely only going to be there for 1 year.
right.
We didn't want to re-sign him for the 23 million, so he's going to make that 23 million from there. Whatever he wants to ask for, even if he has a great year, I don't know that they would be willing to bring him back. But he can at least give a lot of these guys, show them the ropes, especially Roman Doomsday. Like with what he's going to do for that receiver room is going to be great, and what the chemistry I think that he's going to have with Caleb is going to be great too as well. Just Mr. Consistency, which is basically what he's been his whole career.
Yeah, somebody who knows
I,
who can get open, knows the coverages.
always going to be around. If you like, I'm not going to be the one that's going to go over the top. Don't look for me for no big fade post, whatever. Nah, I'm going to be the slant guy. I'm going to be the quick guy, and I'm going to always be
Well,
there.
I will say,
already,
watching Caleb Williams throughout the draft the path to the draft, I hope that he
process
is willing to learn from a guy like Keenan Allen, is willing to listen and not going in there because his confidence is out of this world right now. He knew he was going to be the number one pick. He didn't have a stress in the world. Like I hope he's not too overconfident. Like I got this shit. I'm the number one pick. I'm coming in. I'm doing this. Like, nah, dog. Like I've been playing in the league for 10 years. I know what these coverages look like. Listen to me. Like let me. I know I don't play quarterback, but I've seen every coverage just like a quarterback would. So I hope he's receptive to that from him, DJ Moore, and guys like that can help him out.
Keenan can teach him how to play quarterback probably better than some of the
I
coaches
agree.
that quarterback coaches, just because he's seen stuff. From Rivers to Herbert to just different
Hibbert,
coverages, all that stuff.
It's back to Hibbert until he wins the playoff game. It's Hibbert again.
I like
He's
it.
Hibbert again.
Sherbert.
He's Hibbert again. He's Hibbert again. Sherbert, all of that.
Hibbert.
He need to win one.
Let me go ahead and talk about my team real quick.
Hibbert.
I definitely thought that a part of me, the old Chargers would have drafted
Neighbors.
I feel like they would have went with them just because obviously we lost two receivers. We need a receiver. Marlon has been telling me for months now, y'all gonna run the ball, blah 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 blah. If that is in fact what we do, for one, with J.K. Dobbins, we signed him for pretty much nothing. If the dude can stay healthy from a torn Achilles, he got fresh knees for over about a year and a half. So I'm hoping at least the knees can hold up. The Achilles is been close to about a full year. Hopefully he'll be ready to go. But we playing with house money with him. Gus Edwards, we signed him for 2 years for like $7 million, so it's like nothing. And then we also drafted a running back too. But if we do run the ball more, or if we do mixing the pass in here and there, 50-50, whatever. You need a solid line to be great at whatever you do. So I'm 100% okay with the pick. I feel like now we're slowly building ourselves to one of the strongest offensive lines in the league. And we got some extra tight ends in free agency. So I know both of you guys disagree with me, but we have an extra. I think we're going to sign another wide receiver in free agency.
So disagree
Odell has
about
not been signed yet.
Oh my God. Odell.
So I'm hoping that we can possibly bring my guy. We did bring in Tyler Boyd in for a workout, but I think we may be able to bring my guy Odell in. But
Tyler Boyd from Cincinnati?
I'm excited with what we did in the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He visited them in the Titans. You guys need an outside
in
receiver though.
Tennessee.
because y'all got that little guy from Georgia who's gonna play the slot.
This
So I
is
feel
my
like y'all need
problem.
another outside guy.
Which we gonna
I'm
sign.
with you,
We gonna
Marlon.
sign somebody.
Like
So go ahead,
building your
Marlon.
offensive line because I don't. You can have all the faith in your quarterback as you want, but the Harbaugh family treats running backs.
Dang, you was about to make a great point too. Hold on, go back again. Go back.
Yeah,
Go
you,
back
Okay,
again.
can y'all
You
hear
you
can
me?
have.
froze up again.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
said after you
So
said you
I
agree
agree
with
with
me.
you.
Yep.
Yes. Go ahead.
That with Harbaugh, an offensive lineman is a great choice, right? So I agree with that because the Harbaugh family, they treat their running backs like Thibodeau treats his starters. Like he's gonna wear them down. So you better have a good line. You're damn right. Where I hate the pick is you taking that receiver from Georgia in the second round. If you were gonna pick a receiver, you might as well have took one in the first round. You might as well have took the guy, the better guy. You took
Well,
a guy
Yeah.
who probably wasn't the best receiver on his team. With your second pick, he, I hate that pick for you guys. I hate that pick for anybody who took him there, not just for the Chargers. Uh, go ahead.
see,
But go ahead, Carlin.
the only reason I disagree is because that offensive lineman, the drop off between the first round offensive lineman and the second round offensive lineman is like monumental. No, this kid is not going to be Neighbors, but he can be a good little Wes Welker slot type receiver, possession type, Keenan Allen type.
He's not going to be
So
Keenan Allen.
I
He's not
mean,
going to be Keenan
Eagles
Allen.
build in the trenches. Eagle,
I'm
if
gonna go off when you finish, Carlin. I'm gonna go off of that.
if this tackle can be like a Lane Johnson or a Tyron Smith who's there for 10 plus years, it's a way better pick than a receiver. You can find a receiver. It's hard to find an offensive lineman.
It's hard to find guys like that. As you said, Carlin, there's a big drop. But regardless, with whatever we do, we need to be consistent on the line. And with getting that guy, they obviously saw something. And Marlon, you always tell me about his stats. He was hurt last year, but also too, he was like the
To a
second,
tight
third
end.
target. So and this is from me doing. I'm not sitting here. Oh, that's fine. That's just the type of person Brock Bowers was. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, with what I look at, I'm seeing. We don't know what this guy is going to be. We don't know. The only hope is that with Greg Roman, Harbaugh, we're going to put him, and they saw something that was going to be a great fit for this offense. And with Carlin said with Keenan Allen, I think not saying Keenan Allen as far as longevity, but just a quick route runner, reliable, catch and pass, and making something happen. So if I'm thinking Wes Welker, Cooper Kupp, Keenan Allen type of player, not. We have to see what he's going to do. He has some injuries, so if he can stay healthy, we'll see what can happen. But they drafted this guy this high for a reason, so we'll see what can happen. But he's not.
What round did Wes Welker, Keenan Allen, and whoever else you just say get drafted?
No. If you prepared me, I could have prepared that information for
you. But I know
you don't know
the
that
40th
answer,
pick of the draft or the 37th pick of the draft, whatever you guys had. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're drafting a guy to fill a role that guys at 4th, 5th, undrafted guys fill. That's why I don't understand the pick. Is all I'm saying.
Okay, well we can look at Tom Brady. You don't know what players are going to be regardless of where they were drafted, and you know that. Like there are certain people that get drafted. Jamarcus Russell. There are certain players that get drafted.
But what you just
first
did
round,
was make
second
my
round
point.
That are duds.
Tom Brady was drafted later.
But
you guys drafted him the 4th pick of the second round.
But we don't know what he could be.
Well,
You're going off of stats with what you saw.
What do you think is the best possible outcome? Because you just named 4 guys who had really okay football careers, but we'll never talk about them in the pantheon of all-time great receivers. And you guys just drafted him basically the end of the first round, right? But you named a bunch of comps that were guys that didn't have first round, second round production. That's my point. All I'm saying is his ceiling, what you just said was his ceiling, what you hope he is for you, is not that of a first, second round receiver. That's all I'm saying. So you're hoping that this guy that was drafted in the second round gets production
but you
of guys that were
that.
taken in the 5th, 6th round. That's what I'm saying. You didn't come on here and say he might be.
You don't know when those guys.
What? I don't know what.
You don't know when those guys were drafted either. So you're asking me a question that you don't even know the answer to. So was Keenan Allen drafted in the first round? I don't know.
Most of them were like 3rd, 4th round, 5th round guys.
Okay. But at the end of the day, we picked for what our offense is. We picked what we felt was the best pick. I think, and
Wes
who knows?
Welker was
And
undrafted.
Jerry Rice, Brandon Rice. We, okay, congrats with Brandon Rice. We got some unrestricted free agents too as well. Who knows? He could mess around and be our number one receiver. We can still possibly get Tyler Boyd, Odell. There's other receivers that are still T. Higgins.
Keenan Allen was drafted at the end of the third round.
Okay.
Who's the other white guy? Cooper Kupp?
But at the end of the day, I don't. At the end of the day, we don't know what guys can be. We have to wait and see. They could either be really good or really bad. This is the draft.
Cooper Kupp also drafted at the end of the third round.
So you could,
and we do know what guys can and can't be.
Congratulations.
Does he have? Bro, he's Tyreek Hill size. Is he going to be Tyreek Hill? There's a reason you didn't say Tyreek Hill. There's a reason. What are we saying?
Tyreek Hill was in a great.
Now he's in a new system, and he's still Tyreek Hill.
We knew he was very fast. Okay, all right. Yes, because he transformed into the player that he is now.
So
all I'm saying is we don't know what he could be. I'm not going to shut it down. I know you hate the pick. You think the guy's the worst receiver in the world. Whatever. For our system, we felt that it was the best pick.
We didn't feel anything.
At that time.
You didn't feel that way. You're just saying that now because that's your team. You don't want to go against them. You said we. You said we like you was in the war room and you told them, yeah, let's go with that pick. You didn't think that. Let's be honest. You wanted a running back. You wanted somebody better than him.
Unlike you, I can say we because I have a team.
So you wanted to take him at that pick. So, you wanted to take him at that pick. When you do your pre-draft like you do.
I knew as you always say, I don't watch college football like you do. So therefore, I can't give you a right person or whatever. After the first round, that's pretty much it for me. I'll be honest with you. But this is the guy who we picked. I got to believe in the system. This is the coach that I wanted. The coach that I said I want. You laughed at me, and we got him. So I got to trust and believe in the system, and it is what it is. He's not going to be the only guy that we're going to throw to on the team. Hopefully Quentin Johnson can show up and be the first round pick that he was last year. Brandon Rice might be able to be a better receiver.
Quentin Johnson.
We have other. He's not going to be the only person that we're going to throw the ball to.
Hey, now I got a question. Does the tackle y'all got and the one that y'all already have, do they play the same position?
Yes. So
who's going to go to right tackle?
Probably going to be Slater.
The rookie?
In my opinion. Yeah, Slater, the guy that's already there. I don't know. But see, I don't know. I don't know what they're – we'll figure it out. But one of the guys is going to move. But back to your point,
it's a good problem to have. I was just wondering which one would go to right.
Yeah, but they do. But no, they do. But it's going to be a great – I mean, we won't have a tackle problem, barring no injuries. We won't have a tackle issue for at least 10 years. So that's a good problem to have, as you said. Anyways, Marlon. Hey. So, is there any possible way you can be a Cowboys fan again, or are you just like done for good? Or
y'all got Zeke back? Y'all got Zeke back, baby.
Hold on. He's not a fan anymore. He's done with him. So
he said, unless they make a big move, sign a running back. Y'all signed a. That's what you asked for.
Now y'all might have could have got Zeke, me. Baby. Y'all might have could have got me with Derrick Henry. Back. Hell. Big bro
Zeke,
just went to Houston. He asked for out. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Ayuk still out there asking for a trade. No, not Joe Mixon. I'm talking about Seven Diggs. Yes, yeah.
Diggs.
I said we needed a big play receiver or a big running back. And
bro, y'all got CD. He about to be the highest paid.
As soon,
ain't he about to hold out? He's holding out.
As soon as the playoffs come, what do they do?
Pay that man.
Put two bodies on him, and Dak don't know what the hell to do.
Hey, CD and Dak when me and fantasy shit. They
crazy.
Good in my book. Sign them both.
You know what?
Lifetime
fantasy
contracts.
Doesn't care about? My favorite stat: winning. Fantasy don't care who won the game. Fantasy only cares about their stats.
Nah, man. I think y'all need to sign CD to like $300 million guaranteed.
What they need to do is see how the hell the Eagles keep signing their receivers for these contracts.
Hey, I remember you said you was like, it's gonna get interesting when y'all sign Hurts, and I said I'm not worried because Howie is that guy. Hey, I don't know what he got going on, but
did Hurts already get a contract?
He can work a contract. He got one
Yes.
I don't know what's going on out there.
He got his first, and then Lamar got his the next day. Herbert got his, and Burrow got his.
Wait, so you said
he got his after
Hurts
the Super Bowl.
got one. Hurts
got one first.
Hurts
Lamar
got one,
and Joe Burrow.
Lamar,
hey, Carlin, I got a question for you.
And Burrow.
Out of those 4 quarterbacks,
who's the best one and who's the worst
one?
You could. Which one don't you like? Which one's the worst one? I'll answer it for you. Jalen Hurts is the best. Herbert's the worst. All right, so let's go ahead and go to. I already knew that was coming.
No, it wasn't because your little ass dunked it.
All right,
it was perfect.
Yes. I did a windmill on that motherfucker.
That's a perfect pass, baby.
All right, so on the beef, Marlon? Did you hear the Kendrick's?
Yeah, I got an hour commute and I listened to it. That's how long it took.
Yeah,
for him to tell me we don't want to hear Drake say nigga no more.
Yeah, I mean, for what?
We don't want to hear that no more.
I love Drake's. When he came out with his, I didn't know if it was real or AI, whatever. But he was firing at everybody. And poor Rick Ross, he wanted to be mentioned so bad, but Drake not giving him no attention.
White boy.
But he was just. He was firing at everybody, so I love that. I love how he came with the
you got a cargo
AI
airplane, nigga.
Hey,
like what?
Can I get a cargo airplane? Can I get one? Like,
say you got a cargo airplane.
I'll take one too.
Sure. Yeah, I love how he did that. And then the AI joint with Snoop Snoop had no clue what was going on, so I thought that was dope too. But Kendrick finally, a month and a half later, Kendrick finally replies.
It was like 2 weeks.
That's wild.
It feels like it. It feels like it. But I mean, for 2, I mean, it was pretty. Lyrically, I thought it was pretty. It wasn't like a banger or nothing like that, but it was all right. I don't think it was. I think Drake gonna come back and kill him with this next one.
I hope that was just like,
but it was all right.
The jab. I hope that was this, and he's like trying to get a reaction for the haymaker because. And Carlin, I don't know. You probably should have started on this one because I'm not even gonna go for a long time. My problem with this record is, had he released it sooner, before, because half the things he said in it, we just heard Rick Ross say, like it said. You know what I'm saying? Like he sounded like the whole. We don't want to hear you say Nick. Well, we've been hearing Ross call him white boy for the past week and a half now. You know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that. It just took away from it.
Every time you get to say something good,
I'm sorry. It just took away from it for me. Like, and Ross was funny. Kendrick raps his ass off as Kendrick always does. I just felt like it was. You got to do more against Drake because we've seen people out rap him before and still lose the battle. Like, Drake's superpower is I'm going to dish you and it's going to sound really good. And 6 years later, or however long ago that was with Meek Mill, you can still hear Charge Up. You can still hear Back to Back right now, and it's not going to be a problem to listen to. Yeah, like that's the problem you're doing with Drake, like with dealing with Drake. And I think that's the reason why that first verse with the diss in it was so hard because people like that song. You know what I'm saying? Like it was on a popular song with Future and Metro and all them. So I don't know. He said a lot of stuff we had already heard. It's just packaged differently, and it was a long ass song. Like, I feel like Go ahead.
Now I think it was kind of we all into battle rap, so it's just like in battle rap. If something happens with if something happens with you, Marlon, right, and I battle you and I say everything, but then you battle the other Marlon and he says everything, but he might say it a little bit better. We've already heard that angle, you know what I mean? So it would have been it would have hit a lot harder if Kendrick said everything before Rick Ross. But I don't feel like none of the disses have been great. I don't think none of them have been great. But I got Kendrick up on this Euphoria, in my opinion.
I'll tell you one diss that's been great. Chris Brown. That track was.
Chris Brown got the best diss out right now. Hey, and Quavo responded so fast. He got hard, but he got hard. That's all I can say is he got hard.
But that's how fast. That's how fast it should be.
Yeah.
Hey, he tucked his chin in.
But that's how it should be with the way of Fast and came. He made
Yeah,
a actual like a typical Quavo fashion. Like I'm gonna make like a somewhat like a hit, but versus like, but it wasn't
yeah. Try
like nah.
to.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna come for your heart. Like I'm gonna just make a really good song. Like he had the better song, but Chris Brown just like murdered him. Like it was bad. It was bad. So
yeah.
I really wish Chris would come back with another one, but he was like, I'm not entertaining that.
Yeah, he
But
like it
No, I
ain't
think
even
Chris
worth my
Brown just
time.
wants to punch Quavo in the
yeah,
face.
yeah.
Like,
So
I think he's done rapping. Like I just want to
that's what it
fight you.
sounds like.
Let's go to the zone. Yeah,
Said, send me some
and
of
put
the
on some
shoulders.
gloves, or I could just see you in the club in a couple weeks and we can fight. But I still personally I
Yeah.
got Drake up. Oh, and then the 20 verse one, like it was some stuff in there I just didn't like. He brought up Diddy. Like it's a terrible time to bring up Diddy. 20 verse one with the pen, like everything we had heard, like you said, Carlin, we just heard this all before. So, and that's the other thing. Oh, this is what I was talking to my cousin
Yeah,
about. When you're battling Drake, not only is he going to make a good song, but everybody has already said so much stuff about him. Like, even the stuff with we don't like the girls that you fucking. The internet just killed Joe Budden for saying this a month ago. Like when Drake put out that album, Joe Budden went on a podcast and said, "Drake, stop fucking these 25-year-olds." Excuse my language. And the internet was like, Joe Budden's a hater. He needs to shut up, blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. And now Kendrick is saying the same exact thing in the diss song. Like, I don't know, bro. It just, and now it's like, go ahead.
But what
What
did
did Drake
Drake
say?
say to Kendrick?
He wore
Wear
a
a
size,
size
but that's what I'm
7
saying.
shoe.
It's just catchy, bro.
Come
And
on,
he
bro.
was talking about the splits. He was talking about this and that, drop and give me 50, all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, I think that drop and give me 50 gets played for the next 5 years, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. And nobody's going to say anything Kendrick said next week.
Mm-mm. No.
I don't know.
Just because I
He
think
has some
just because
quotables.
obviously for one, who it's Drake, but two, one other thing that Kendrick said was something about I guess how he was snitching on people or something, or so it's gonna be interesting to see if he elaborates on that, because I'm like, okay, well, you know, you're gonna diss somebody, like
we
let's hear it all, but
hold
yeah,
on,
I think, but that's just who.
sorry. I like pop singer Drake. I don't want to hear you act tough. And then Kendrick says, when I first shot an AK, the homie taught me how to. Bro, Kendrick, we know you for being close to gangsters. You not no gangster either, bro. Let's keep it a buck. You wasn't the nigga in the van asking homie where he was from in Good Kid, Mad City. That's the whole point of Good Kid, Mad City. You just grew up around it. You wasn't out there putting in work. Have you ever walked up on your op?
Yeah.
No, Kendrick. We know you ain't did that either.
Hey, but we all know you can be the good kid, but you still gonna go through some
And
stuff.
he said it in the verse. This is what everybody listening to it don't. He said, "Have you ever walked up on your op and did something to him? Have you ever put 500,000 on a lawyer?" I failed at both. So you telling us you never did that, but you want us to believe you was shooting an AK or Drake as he called it. Like, the problem I'm having is I'm not from Compton, so I don't have to agree with Kendrick. And we all grew up in a smaller version of LA in San Diego. So I know what kind of shit you was on, bro. I feel you. But I don't believe you either. And you 5'7", because he told us you wore a size 7. Although we do know some little killers. I just don't think Drake was him. Or Kendrick was one.
Yeah, that was bad.
But I know some niggas that wear a size 7 that will shoot your head off. So.
I guess he was.
Let's make that clear. I'll say we know.
Yeah.
Hello. So.
Yeah. So we'll definitely see what happens with Drake. He was talking about how bad he was at being a dad, like not teaching your kid this and that. Like we all know each other. Like we know we're all good dads. But just imagine somebody that don't know you and tell you a bad dad. It's like like
even
I just thought
the
that part was
kid
a
angle.
unless he knows some
Pusha
stuff
already
obviously we don't
told
know.
us she
But I'm
was
just
hiding
like,
a kid from the world. And then Drake said, "Hey, I drop my kid off at school, then I go make $1 million. I pick him up, and by then I make another M." So who's telling the truth here? I don't know. He does have a baby with a porn star though, or a model, whatever. Yeah. So that's very true. That's very true.
Allegedly,
whatever she is. Yeah.
I think Cole had the best one out, and he forfeited.
He
I was actually
apologized.
acting like I wanted to
He
throw my
said
headphones
sorry.
earlier, but you're
He
absolutely
said
right.
he said my heart
And
ain't in it
see,
no more.
Kendrick is nice.
Yeah.
Kendrick is a good person because
J.
he
Cole
took
had
a
the
friendly
best
shot
one.
at Cole on this one, but he still shot at him, which I appreciate. But yeah, Cole was, man, I'm so disappointed in J. Cole. So disappointed.
Cole.
But that's the thing. It ain't like y'all on some like it's 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 for the game, the culture. It's like obviously y'all not gonna fight, y'all
Right.
not
It's
gonna do none of
yeah,
that
it's all
stuff.
entertainment.
But it's all love and fun, and I mean you may not really like that person. Now Chris Brown, he really hates Quavo. That's a little different. But
Yeah.
with this, it's like just have a little fun with it. If anything, it helps you. It helps your streams. Because Drake, I was on listening to Sirius XM and it was playing the
Bro,
Drake diss.
he,
So it's like you gonna get streams, you gonna get
that's what
plays and
I'm
all that
saying.
stuff.
He does a
So
good job of that, bro.
yeah.
And we cannot like Drake and say he's not a good a rapper as everybody else. That's cool. He just knows how to make a hit, something catchy. And I'll say this, like one of the lines I like most in the Kendrick song is "Don't tell lies about me. I won't tell the truth about you." Like that's not a diss. That's not like a. But it's something
hmm
Yes.
catchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's something good. It's a good line. But
Yeah,
that's
something
kind of shit.
subtle.
Like everybody's like, "Oh, you wasn't listening. You wasn't listening." I'm like, bro, this wasn't one of the raps that Kendrick was really using some intricate bars and double, triple entendres. Like for me, I'm a Kendrick guy. Like Good Kid, Mad City is probably top 5 for me of all time in my rap albums. Mona Lisa, the verse with he got on the song with Lil Wayne is probably a top 10, 15 verse of all time for me in rap. Like that's the Kendrick I like. The storytelling, you know what I'm saying? And I just didn't. This wasn't that for
Yeah.
me. It was almost like he was trying to dumb it down.
Nah, yeah. I feel like I said, none of them were great. So I feel like they it's like round one in a boxing match. They just filling each other out right now, and then they waiting on
Mm-hmm.
who gonna go next, and that's when they gonna start to
Oh wait,
try and throw
this is why I say
haymakers.
I got Drake up. This is my analogy, and I'm glad you
Yeah.
said fight because it reminded me of it. Kendrick damn near sucker punch, bro. And I say that because he took a shot at him on somebody else's song. Yeah, like
Like that.
on somebody else's song. And then after that, you didn't knock him out. Like he came back. He threw 2 more punches at you, waiting for you to respond. So to me, if you in a fight and somebody catch you one clean that you wasn't looking like, all right, I'm getting ready to fight Metro and Future. And then Kendrick socked me from the side. Okay, now I'm focused on you. Since you didn't knock me out, I'm throwing punches. And this is your reach. So even if they are at a standstill, I think the fact that how we got here is why I got Drake up. Because I thought that was weak. If Kendrick would have just dissed him on his own song or like on a freestyle or something, I'm probably with you as far as him being up. But since he did it on,
But he used
bro,
the platform that he used that everybody was gonna listen to.
and
Everybody
then
was listening
and
to
then
Future album. So
Kanye
Yeah.
jumping on it
yeah.
too, like I think it being so many people dissing Drake kind of makes this feel corny as hell to me. I guess that's where I'm coming from. It feels like
Yeah.
dog.
He's Thanos.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Kendrick though made it like cool. Hey, let's go at Drake. You know what I mean? Like people might have been wanting to do
What
it, but
what
didn't.
and
Really had
he's
a
the
heart
only
to do it.
and
But
he's the
now
only
that
rapper
Kendrick
that
did it,
could.
I'm gonna
And
do it now
according
too.
to Kanye,
Yeah.
it was Future that called everybody in the studio like,
Yeah.
"Yo, we about to take this nigga out." You know what I'm saying? So that's what he was saying in his interview with Justin LeBoy. So I guess like this was a
hmm
calculated effort. I just feel like if we had a game or we had a party and we like, hey Marlon Carlin, hey, I'm about to sleep this nigga right now. We about to get him. He ain't here by himself. He ain't paying no attention. Matter of fact, he ain't by himself. He with J. Cole. But we know he don't want to fight. So if we go over there and jump him and he walks away clean, dog, we didn't do our job. We didn't do our job. And then like
Right.
the whole Metro shut your whole ass up and do some drums, nigga. Like
Yeah.
it's just little catchy stuff. Like that's not a diss. Like that's not a diss at all. And that's why I say I'm agreeing with you, Carlin, because you like, well, what did he say? He didn't say nothing like crazy, but he made it catchy enough. Like, and everybody's saying, oh, to beat this, to
Yeah.
beat that. Like, that's the reason we like
Yeah.
that.
And that's what Drake gonna do. Yeah. Drake gonna do something catchy, like back to back, super catchy. Like
Bro.
back to back is
He
hard.
gonna find a way.
So I don't know. I'm glad
gonna
we
find
talking
a way.
about it though, and I'm glad we got replies.
All right.
I hope Drake come back this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I hope
Oh,
we
he
get some
gonna come.
replies
He
as
gonna come
well.
quick. I know what he already
Yo.
probably got 2 stashed away. All right.
Hey, that was crazy.
What?
Hey, he said
and
he
how
gonna do
fast?
what? Hey,
Whoa.
MP, what he
No,
say?
that's not what you said.
MP,
That's
what
not
he
what you
say?
said.
Quick?
I'm not.
What?
No,
Hey,
take the
yo.
back out. Take the
Come
back out
back
because that's
quick.
not what you said.
Hey, run that back. Hey, Metro, run that back, Metro.
No. Don't say back.
Come
And
back
then just say
quick,
that same
anyway.
sentence without back. Say the same sentence
that's what
without
I
back.
said.
That's what you said.
I
No,
said
you
you already know
didn't.
Drake's
Did
gonna
you
come
hear
back
back?
quick.
Did you say?
That's what
Did
I heard.
you say back?
You a little delayed,
Carlin.
Marlon. So okay.
I didn't hear no back. I didn't hear
All
no
right,
back.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey,
I don't know
yo.
what to tell you. All right. Anyways, last couple things, Carlin. How you feeling about the Padres? Marlon, how you feeling about your Yankees? Go ahead, Carlin.
Padres sorry. I'm just from the town. You know, it's the only San Diego team I rep, so I'm gonna rep it. But they sorry. They sorry. Just giving out bad contracts. Xander Bogaerts was a bad contract. Since we signed him,
Shout
we
out
couldn't
to y'all for
re-sign
that. Shout out to
Soto.
y'all.
Yu Darvish is like 50 years. Yu Darvish like 50 years old. We signed him, so we got a bunch of bad contracts. But I'm gonna still rep the town.
Shout out
Marlon,
for the same
Yankees.
exact reason that Carlin just said. I want to shout out the Padres for the bad contracts, not being able to sign Soto. We appreciate that in New York. I think he just hit another home run yesterday. Soto did. And they're doing all right. They're in second place, like a half a game back or something like that, but they're gonna be fine. As long as they're healthy in the playoffs, they'll be good.
Yeah, Soto is great, but sometimes, man, he can be frustrating to watch. Because sometimes it seems like he wants like the perfect pitch. Like he's so selective on his swings that sometimes like you be like, bro, just swing.
But see, that's why he fits so good with the Yankees, because you got an Aaron Judge, you got a Giancarlo Stanton, you got a lineup around him that requires you to throw him good pitches or put him on base for those guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? And y'all was protecting him with Xander Bogaerts. A Yankee fan, I seen him a long time with the Red Sox. I told Marquise, another big Padre fan baseball guy, I said, bro, y'all gave him way too much money. It's a reason.
Oh yeah, way too much money. Like I would have been fine giving Trey Turner that money, but I was
Trey
not
Turner
fine
would've
giving
deserved
Xander
that
Bogaerts that money. Like, yeah, because Xander he hits nothing but singles. He doesn't steal bases. He's not great on defense. Trey Turner is the exact opposite. He might hit a single, but he gonna steal you 30 bases. He's a lead on defense. So I
Trey
just
might turn some
didn't
singles
like it
into
at all.
doubles with his speed.
Oh yeah. Trey can definitely has more power than Xander, but it is what it is at this point.
What about your team, Marlon?
Yes, we'll
How
see.
the
It's
Rangers
definitely,
looking?
what are we about 20? No, about 30 games in. We're looking all right, man. Let me
How
go
about
and look at
those
my Haney.
Rangers?
Oh man, we champs, man. That's
Who was your opening day starter?
I don't know. I can't remember. All right. Other than that, man. Hey, Carl, I'm gonna get you, man, for that no hair comment, man. You're not slick.
No,
doing
man.
That.
It wasn't.
Nah, you know what you was
Hey,
doing. Hey, man, I got my hair. Like some people can't do this. You know,
some people can't do it. My old teammates, they used to be like, "Hey, Stu, every time you grow your hair, I'm with you because I've been bald since I was 16."
It'd be real.
Like, damn. You wasn't bald since 16, so you good. But some people, it's a struggle.
I mean, I got my hairline's just it's just like right here. I mean, it ain't
you got the follicles.
I mean, I can grow a nice crisp one, but it's gonna be just a little further back. So
You
I mean,
gonna have
it ain't like
the Chris
Doc
Paul.
Rivers.
I could the Kobe, yeah, older Kobe. I could do it if I wanted to, but yeah, it's easier just me just go bald. But it ain't that bad. But yeah, but other than that, man, y'all got anything else?
Who y'all got in these second round series?
I want to see the Wolves go to the finals. I want to see the Wolves.
Y'all going with the Nuggets?
Well,
but who you think is gonna win?
Yeah,
I got to see the matchups first.
Oh, I want
At the Wolves and Nuggets.
Well, we got to see who makes it first.
Wolves and Nuggets.
We don't know
Who
who's
got
gonna
in that
make it.
series?
Damn.
Wolves and Nuggets.
That's the one I want to see.
Mm.
That's the one I want to see.
And then, okay, do you think OKC is just going to run through this 4-5 matchup, or do you
Who's the
think it's going to
five?
be a struggle? Because I'm not a believer
Oh, no.
in OKC. They're going to either play the
I
Clippers
think
or
the
Dallas.
Nuggets or the Mavs give them problems. I don't think they got nobody want to see Luka. They might put the young boy Jalen Williams on him, and I think he'll give him buckets.
They'll probably try Dort.
Dort
They think
too.
Dort
Yeah.
is their
Oh
guy.
yeah, he's an Arizona State guy, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like either the Clippers
I agree.
or Dallas can beat OKC.
I agree with that. And I'm taking Nuggets.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I like.
I want.
Okay.
I'm sitting here thinking like, but I just don't see the combination of Jokic and Gordon on the offensive end. I think it's tough for Cat and Rudy Gobert. Because I don't think Cat could guard either one of them.
Yeah. See, but the thing is, though, they kind of match up well because the Lakers, who the Lakers have on MP, on Michael Porter Jr.? They had like a D'Lo.
You got to put a smaller guy on him when it's like that.
See, because the thing
D'Lo
is,
or Reeves, D'Lo or
but
Reeves,
that's the
shoot
thing.
over the top.
When you put a smaller guy on them and they're kind of helping out, yeah, shoot right over the top. But now with I think they're gonna have Jaden McDaniels on him. I mean, it just depends on if they put Jaden McDaniels on Murray or do they try to put him on Porter Jr. I think they'll have him on Murray, and then in the crunch, I think Ant will guard him.
I think you put.
I just
Ant
think
on
you need some
Michael Porter Jr. because Michael Porter Jr. isn't a guy that you got to chase around and use a lot of effort on, but you got to be able to contest when he catches and shoots and make sure he don't backdoor you.
Yeah, you got to be able to help off, but still get back to kind of contest the shot. Yeah,
I like the matchup.
So
I got the Nuggets too. I think the Timberwolves they'll be around for years to come. But I like that experience.
It'll go 6 or 7.
You just got experience. You got chemistry.
I think this is the problem. I think this is the problem
But
I think the problem they have because what's AE is what, a shooting guard or a small forward. So whatever those other two backcourt positions are, because I think Murray's better than whoever their starting guard is, Conley, and then
way better than Conley.
And then Michael Porter Jr. is going to be better than whoever that third guy is, production wise. You know what I'm saying?
McDaniels.
So I think that's the tough part. And then you still got Cat that could give you 15 to 20, 25 on some nights. So I think that's the, but shit.
I think Naj Reid off the bench, he gonna have to be big for them.
I was big on him out of LSU. I don't know why he slipped so far in the draft. I think it was character issues or something like that.
Yeah, because he got a
imagine
nice
that in college,
game.
bro. They couldn't do nothing with him in college.
Knicks.
Go ahead, Marlon.
Knicks and Sixers going to 7.
Yeah, I think it's going 7.
Yeah,
Sixers should be up right now, but they blew that one game late.
The series should be over.
Yeah,
they was up 6 with 30 seconds left.
Yeah,
the
Sixers,
yesterday. The Knicks. I think you can't keep giving them chances though. So,
yeah.
No, and then
I'm
that
excited for this Team USA. I know
they got a couple guys on the team that shouldn't be on the team, but I don't know how Hallenberg is on that team.
I agree. He has some.
I know you can. I know you want to have different type of players, but there's no way he's over Bronson, Tyrese Maxey, Kyrie. Dame.
I will say this. I will say this.
I thought Brunson should have been on there.
It's tough in international play when you got a lead guard that has to score. And he's the only point guard in the league right now that isn't like that's all-star caliber that isn't score first.
First.
Because everybody else scores except for Bam. And Bam was a scorer too, really. But everybody else on that roster is scorers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. Yeah, because it's Booker, KD, and LeBron, Tatum.
Kyrie's not on it.
Curry.
Yeah.
Oh, Curry.
Yeah, Curry.
I thought you said Kyrie.
Curry's on there.
I thought you said Kyrie.
Yeah,
Kawhi.
Yeah,
Oh
I don't
my
like that
God.
Kawhi
Why
was
is he on
Kawhi
the?
was a very Kawhi was a very very last
He
spot. So
he shouldn't
I
even
don't know
been a
who they
thought.
They
was.
should have put another
He
big man out
shouldn't
there.
even be a
Yeah,
They
thought.
should have put another big man on the
AD's
roster.
on there.
They should have put
And
another
they got
big man
Embiid.
on the roster.
They got Embiid, which I think is dope that Embiid. I
And
think
B's
that's
gonna
dope
get
that
hurt.
Embiid is. Yeah, he's already hurt. Barely
Come
playing.
on, him
Yeah,
and
I think
Kawhi. Like, come
international
on,
play.
fam.
You should.
I think Dame is Dame on there?
Nah, Dame's not on there.
Oakland's not really
Dame's
part
not.
of USA
Okay, but
though.
we got Bam,
Oakland
and then
is
we
like
got.
Chirac. That's a on city, so he might not really be from here.
But yeah, I think they. I don't know who the other big would be. Maybe
Me
Jaren
either. You're
Jackson.
right.
I
It's
don't like
tough.
his game
It's
either,
tough. We don't
though.
have a lot of American-born centers.
Oh yeah, Drew
Maybe
Holiday is one
actually,
that
yeah,
shouldn't
Drew
be on there.
Holiday. That's a nasty one, but they just gonna need someone to play defense,
Man,
you know. So I guess
We
that's
got
where
Tatum.
he falls in.
So Bam, Devin Booker is another one we forgot. Steph Curry, AD, KD, Anthony Edwards, Embiid, Tyrese, Drew Holiday, LeBron, Kawhi, Tatum.
I think Jared Allen would have been the perfect center.
somebody like that, yeah.
Somebody who's just gonna block shots, get
He would have
rebounds.
been there. He would have
catch a
been there.
lob, you know?
Tyson Chandler, Dwight Howard, yeah,
They're-
yeah.
Yeah, Tyson, DeAndre Jordan type. But they should still zip
cool.
everybody up.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Hey,
Actually-
I got
actually,
to get up.
Canada
and
is
have
gonna
a
be
They
good
got
night.
a
decent.
young squad, and France too. France always good, but they go
Yeah.
And Rudy.
Victor.
That'll be interesting.
Victor.
And they got a kid out there that's probably gonna be top 5 pick this year's
All right,
draft.
guys.
All right, but
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
But there's
okay. All
my
right.
bad. Bye.
Stop
Bye.
talking. Stop
Hey,
talking.
him-
Stop talking.
him needs to go to sleep.
I gotta go. I gotta get up in like 5
Hey,
hours.
we saw you looking
All right.
over there. We see your wife. We know your wife is right there.
We
Telling you,
will.
shut
This
that shit off.
she's not.
She over there doing the Dame time. She
She's
over there
not.
doing the Dame
I'm looking at myself. She upstairs. Nah, but the kids asleep, so
And
I
blink
got
twice
If
if
it's
you need
late,
help.
it's past my bedtime. But we will catch y'all. I know Carlin likes this part. We'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
Peace. We out. Love y'all, man. Have a good night.